Hey everyone, welcome back. We're going to be doing another episode of Oshi No Ko. We're on episode 7. Last episode was kind of crazy. I love the character Akane, and I like Yuki as well. I related to Akane a lot in terms of like personality and stuff like that. And yeah, it was a pretty dark episode, especially after such a lighthearted one that we got. But luckily Aqua was there at the end of it, and it was able to help Akane out. And what was kind of interesting is like I had a comment that, it was made in humor, and I wasn't offended by it or anything like that. And I don't think it was a comment that was supposed to be taken that way or anything like that, but they were just kind of, because I guess my reaction to it was just kind of like, oh no. If I remember correctly, I think it was just because I was in mid-thought, like trying to like get words out, and then all of a sudden like a lot of things were happening in that exact moment. But it wasn't until they made that comment that I realized, I was like, oh yeah, you know what? I actually have seen a real attempt before. It was a very different situation, and I thought about it and I was like, oh yeah, I bet you I probably was a lot more energetic during the real thing. But if I'm being honest, I don't think I was that more, I wasn't like freaking out or anything like that. I wasn't like more energetic about it. Yeah, I wish I could say I was. I don't know if that makes things better or worse, but if anything, I was scared more than anything. I was asked to go to an apartment to go check in on somebody, and it was a place I'd never been to before. So right away, I tend to be a bit of an antisocial type of person. So going to places that are new to me tend to make me really nervous and anxious and stuff like that. It seemed important, so I did it, and it was just kind of scary for me because I didn't know what I was walking into. It was quiet, empty apartment kind of, but I was still trying to like make myself known and stuff like that. And then I went to the room where I was supposed to go, and it was a lot of me just looking around and just kind of piecing things together of like what could have possibly happened. And luckily the person I was checking it on they woke up and they were coherent, and I had to ask them what happened, and they were honest with me, and it was really scary. It was really scary more than anything. And I didn't freak out or anything, but internally I was, I think, scared. I was really freaked out. And yeah, all I could do was just tell them that it's okay, and I gave them a hug. And it seemed like something they really needed in that moment, but we also needed to get them help. So, and I'm sure every situation's different. There probably are situations like that in which you do need to be energetic and lash out and try to stop something like in the episode, but there are other subtle ways to accomplish the same thing. And yeah, it was pretty freaky. But yeah, definitely like no worries to the person that made the comment. It wasn't a bad comment whatsoever. Like it's not it's not the point I'm trying to make. If anything, it's I'm glad they made the comment because it triggered this memory that I had. But it is, I think, an important life experience that I had, because if it ever happens again, I might be able to handle it better than I did the first time that I went through it. And all you can really do is just try to be there for whoever eats it. So, but anyway, guys, let's see if this episode, well, I doubt this episode's going to be all sugar and rainbows, because I think we have to deal with the aftermath of what went on here, and hopefully there's a good resolution to what's going on. So we're going to go ahead and dive on into this. I guess the good thing is that if you're, ever feeling down from this show, or, for whatever reason, you can at least listen to this song and at least kind of get a little more pep in your step. This is probably my favorite part right here in the entire intro, right there. It's just such a cool, like, cinematic shot of like panning around. That has to be so difficult to execute, to be able to animate and like make it look like that. So cool. Oh, we are right where we left off, huh? No, I'm just kidding. Smart guy. Yeah, you'd have to be so on it to be able to see that coming and, trace her steps and be able to catch her and stuff.
バチボコに燃えてるわね。こういうのって人前に出るようになったらなれるものじゃないの？体勢のない10代の少女が初めて罵詈雑言の集中放火にさらされる心境はあんたには想像もできないでしょうね。
I think growing up nowadays is probably harder than it was when I was growing up as a kid, because we didn't have social media. Your whole world was your school. So imagine having your school and the rest of the world in on whatever your gossip is, because anything can get online. Aqua's in trouble with the police. I wonder if he made up a story to protect Akane. Oh. Man, getting emotional just watching this. Oh, I didn't think I would get to this. Man.
わかった。
私たちもできる限りフォローするから。仲がいい現場なのね。
That's pretty awesome that the cast is rallying, you know, with her and supporting her and stuff.
煽った番組サイドも好き勝手いうネットの奴らにも腹が立ってしょうがないんだよ。
He's gonna kick all their asses.
各報道機関の記者が24時間最新情報を受け取るために。
Yeah, hopefully none of them get a whiff of all this, which could very well happen.
茜の自殺未遂のニュースが流れ、界隈では様々な議論が起こった。もちろんそれで引くやつもいるが、新たな火種に中傷も加速。
Yeah, and there's still people that are still laying into her.
どんな成人も一面だけ切り抜いてつなぎ合わせれば悪人に仕立て上げられる。それが演出っていうもの。俺には映像編集のスキルもあるし。
Yep, us editors can make you look like anything.
そこに共感性の高い意見を提供すれば多くの人がそれを正義と思い込むマーケットになっている。一番リツイート数稼げて何文字程度の投稿が一番インプレッション高いか知ってるの？こう見えてバズらせのプロなんだけど。
She seems like she would be a pro. She definitely seemed very knowledgeable about how trends work and how to get that stuff going.
でもやっぱさ、あのシーンは欲しくない？
どのシーン？
プロモデルの私が定点カメラの位置を気にしてないと思う？
She's always thinking. She's always thinking like that. Wow.
D は今いくつですか
？35だけど。
茜は17だ。プロだろうとなんだろうと、17歳なんて間違いばっかのクソガキだろう。大人がガキ守らなくてどうすんだよ。
His eye lit up when he channeled that.
そこ長尺の方が素人が頑張って作った感出るって。
ここで俺の曲でしょ。バーンって感じでいこうぜ。
うっせえな。
It's like I don't even like any of you.
すごくいい。
They even have the editing program like pretty close. Yeah, that's what I end up looking like too after editing.
最初の1分で100リツイートくらいいけば最終的には結構なバズにはなると思うけど。
まあやるだけやったんだ。さあ、ショーダウンと行こうぜ。
It's so interesting when they talk about algorithms and things like that, because they're the things that they mention are things that I look at too. Shit, it should do it.
私も努力家で一生懸命な茜のこと好き。だから怒らないよ。
There you go. Sometimes the internet needs to be told like word for word what you mean, or else it can just run wild with, you know, accusations and things like that.
炎上騒ぎはある程度の収束を見せた。そういう歯切れの悪い言い方になるのは炎上に完全な解決はないからだ。
Mm-hmm. You can't change everyone's mind.
言葉が難しい世の中になったなって思うよ。今ツイッターで
Yeah,
軽く燃え
yeah,
るん
it's
だ
so
ろうな。
hard to convey
気をつけないと。
what you mean sometimes. So you almost have to like over explain things, like the story I just had to tell off of the comment that I was talking about. Like, you know, I had to over explain that comment wasn't bad. It was just it poked fun at me, but like, you know, in a friendly way, and I just had to convey that, you know, that's not a bad thing, because it brought up conversation too, and I think that's really important.
アクタンはどういう女が好み？
顔のいい女。
うわ最悪。ルッキズムのゴンゲで。でもあれかな。 B 小町の愛みたいな。ああ、こういう系好きなんだ。面食いだ。
She's writing it down.
愛の真似なんて誰にもできない。あれは天性のものだ。
頑張ろう。
Yeah, I think Akane is like so adorable when she's like writing down in her notes, trying to like, you know, trying to learn, try to do her best.
アクア君の好みを演じてアピールしたら喜んでくれるかな。 B 小町の愛、資料集めないと。
Wouldn't it be crazy if she like somehow is able to dig up that they're related?
秘密主義と暴露欲求、破天荒な言動に反し完璧主義者、無頓着さと過度な執着、金銭感覚が節制傾向、ファッションはやや無関心。
A little bit obsessive. Hopefully this doesn't change, Akane.
いい出会いがあったのかな。
It would also be crazy if she found out who she was with. You know, she finds out the thing that Aqua was trying to figure out.
それではスタンバイお願いします。
行くぞ。
Let's see how this goes.
そうだね、アクア。
He's like, oh shit. Oh, does she have the eyes?
もうカメラ回ってる？
Holy shit. Oh, that stopped him in his tracks, did it? Kind of made me blush a little bit too. Whew, yeah, that episode took me places. Yeah, I had a bit of a breakdown there whenever all the cast was embracing Akane and stuff like that. It was kind of a slight parallel to my story where, you know, just saying that the person I was there for, I had to hug them and kind of just let them know that they're wanted and that, you know, yeah, what they did wasn't good, but it was important to me to tell them that it's okay to feel the way that they feel and that just everything was going to be okay. I didn't want to shame them for what they attempted to do. There's just no judgment, basically. You know, the only thing that was important was that they were going to be okay and keep going, basically. I would imagine there's nothing really I could say that would teach them any better than the experience that they were having in that very moment on whether to do that again or not. I kind of think life lessons are a bit more potent than whatever words I can put together for that. This was another great episode. They all the little details they go over when it comes to like social media, whether it's how to get something popular or how to convey a message from one person to a mass audience, how difficult it could be to communicate that, how specific you need to be to just kind of make sure that, you know, hey, this is what I mean. It's not a bad thing, like what I'm addressing. It's just, we're just talking about it. Like, we're not here to flame anybody or nothing. You know, I can take some pokes, you know, whatever. You can take some pokes at me in terms of like criticisms and stuff like that. It's cool that everybody rallied together with Akane and was able to put together a nice little PR video for her and be able to kind of clear the air and get everybody off her back. And yeah, it never really fully goes away. But yeah, I wanted to mention Hana Kimura. I guess that's what Akane's story may have been based on, was this real life situation. And it's a really sad story. But I heard because of her story that made some changes in Japan in which that you could be punished for cyberbullying, which I think should be a thing. It's hard to legislate someone causing you mental pain because it's not a visual. You know, physical thing is one thing. You go to jail right away for physical assaults and stuff like that. But to be assaulted mentally, I kind of feel like the body can't live without the mind. And so if someone were to attack your mind when it's just as vital as your body, shouldn't that be held to the same regard? But I also get there could be a lot of circumstances in which it's just, you know, people can abuse that and play victim or something like that. So, but I think when you have a clear-cut case of it, I think you should definitely be able to legislate something like that and be able to have people be punished accordingly for that kind of stuff. I mean, mental health is so important, especially nowadays. So important because we're exposed to so much. Life used to be much simpler without social media. We only were exposed to so much information and we just kind of all live in our little bubbles in each town, you know? But yeah, again, another great episode. I didn't expect Akane to be able to, if it seems like she succeeded in figuring out how to be Aqua's like ideal girl. I was a little scared that that information might have like changed her because I do kind of feel like she's slightly acting the part, right? Even if she wants to if she has her heart in it, and she wants to fulfill that for Aqua, you know, but she's also kind of being someone that's not real. So I guess that's the downside of that, is that, I don't know, she may not be giving him a legit version of herself. Who knows? You know, we're just barely seeing it right now, so who knows? At least getting the look and getting the eye situation going on, I thought that was like a genetic thing. It seemed like a genetic trait, and all of a sudden Akane walks in and boom, she like pops her fucking shotting gun and she has eyes. Anyway, cool episode, really enjoyed it. I didn't expect to cry, but here we are. That's it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed the reaction, and I will see you next time.